My name is Ken. I'm a writer. Here are some of my books. I used to be an actor, but I got sick, and I got sick of acting, so my wife and I moved to the high desert. A few times per week, I play Commander, casual and competitive, with my friends online. Magic, or more specifically Commander, is my main hobby, and Magic, or more specifically Commander, helped save my life. This is a story in 3 parts. I started playing Magic in 1995, a truly magical year. Back then, Shiv and Dragon looked crazily powerful, and Mox Sapphire basically looked like a waste of cardboard. I started playing Magic so I could hang out with my older brother, and I hung out with my older brother because he was cool. So, thus, I would be cool. It's just that easy. Though my brother was the better player, I was the better beggar, so my parents wound up buying me more cards. What started as an excuse for bonding became an obsession. I subscribed to the magazines Scry and The Duelist, and each time a new issue came in, I would obsessively scan the columns, watching the prices of the cards that I owned just somehow magically increase. And the cards I didn't own? Well, surprise, surprise, I wanted them. Played at lunch with other Magic nerds in my school. I bugged my close friends enough, and they were not Magic players by nature, they were WWF nerds. I bugged them so much, they wound up capitulating and letting me teach them in order for me to beat them. I played and paid attention to Magic for about 6 years, and then my acting career took over. I passed priority. Jump to 2008. A good friend in LA one night at a party, I think, made the mistake of saying, "Oh yeah, I used to play Magic," to which I responded with a full-bellied scream, "Yes, I do too, we should play again." Maybe alcohol was involved at this party. Maybe. So we bought some booster packs and drafted decks on his tiny kitchen table. After a few games and a quick return trip back to the local game store to buy more packs, we felt pretty confident. We thought that we should be able to play in a tournament, maybe even win. That week, we found another local game shop that ran regular tournaments. On the day of the tournament in question, we carpooled over, got our pairings, and sat down ready to play. The night was a blur. All I really remember was getting thoroughly owned by this guy who kept saying that his cards were spicy and that my cards were chaff. I had no idea what either of these things meant. Oh, and I do remember that Ron Livingston, aka the guy from Office Space, was wandering around the game store looking terribly stoned. You go, Ron. Good job. My friend had a similarly strange and disorienting experience, and neither of us could say we had very much fun. We decided that night to give up the game. The mana emptied from our mana pools. Jump to 2018, 2 years ago. I was a first-year English teacher in a public high school. I was being paid less than minimum wage to hold captive, fill out paperwork justifying holding captive, or stress about how better to hold captive about 60 teenagers. I was working 60 hours a week, and I was miserable. But one day I noticed another young teacher looking at Magic cards on his laptop during a professional development session. I knew immediately that he and I would be good friends. This new friend told me about Commander, which I'd never heard about. He described it as a social multiplayer format with 100-card decks with no 2 cards that were the same, and he said that creativity and fun were the format's main goals. So I was in love, in theory. Then I tried it out. I played a few games. I bought my first pre-con, and I was in love in practice. Yet my health that season was spiraling. What was first stress and anxiety became dread and hopelessness. I suspected I was depressed, like clinically, majorly depressed, but I kept working and I hid my feelings from most people, and the depression got very terrifying. But when I played Commander with my friends, mixing new friends and old friends, when I just shuffled up, set my life total to 40, or when I scanned spoilers or brewed new decks in my head, I was happy. Yeah, I was happy. Magic, or more specifically Commander, it distracted me from my self-destructive thoughts, which was hugely important. Commander gave me something to look forward to. So 6 months after I started teaching, I quit. Then I spent 6 months recovering, writing. I wound up writing this book, Eat the Flowers. But what I don't often tell people, and what I'm telling you now, is that when I was writing this book at the same time, I was designing on paper, with paper and pen, my first Commander deck. It was a Kozilek Great Distortion deck. I thought that building a colorless deck would sort of be an easier entry into the format. And I thought at the time, naively, oh, it'll be cheaper. Oops. The Eldrazi, let's say, resonated with me and my mood at the time. They still do. They get me. Jump to 2020, to right now. I play EDH with my friends every week. We play online, paper Commander, but online, homebound in the age of COVID. Playing Commander, and more importantly, being honest with my family and friends about what I'm experiencing, the symptoms of my illness, going to therapy, taking medication, resting, and just asking for and being willing to accept help. All of those activities are helping me now recover from another really scary depression. I can sort of gladly say that the last few weeks have been great. This game and its community, both casual and competitive, has helped me sort of immeasurably. So I wanted to start this channel, Stacked EDH, in order to create things that other people could look forward to. Enthusiastic, joyful things that might give somebody else a nice horizon. I hope you enjoyed this little story and that you enjoy our other videos. And vitally, if you or if somebody you know is suffering from depression, I hope that you either reach out to that person and encourage them to get help, or that you get help yourself. We can't do this alone, and the expectation that we should do it alone, I think, is really destructive and wrong. So there's nothing shameful about getting help, and I think personally that being helped is one of the most beautiful things in the world. I'm going to put some resources up here on the screen that you can hopefully check out if you feel like you would like some help, or if you know somebody who you think would like some help. And I hope that we can see each other across the digital and the physical tables someday very soon. Thanks for watching.